Let's get ready! Alright, boys and girls. Team Snore against Don our Fedoras. I don't have any idea what the blue team was snorting when they actually came up with that name, but either way, we are at the grand final of the Legendary Cup, and as usual, we're going over the details after we introduce our players. In this first game of our best of 5 series, Mel on the left side on Jaina, Raffeloy on Tyrael, Erwin und Hanzo, and Paris on Johanna, and Snaky Boots on Anduin. He likes his boots. On the right side of the map, we have the Fedoras with Mist on Muradin, Rini on Lunara, Aloname on Rhaegar, Arunas on Alarak, and the Bread Bucket is playing Illidan. Already a couple of talents where I'm just like, wait, what? Sustaining power on level 1 for Alarak. Okay, while the blue team is apparently snorting stuff according to their team name, Donna Fedoras are apparently smoking those Fedoras in some way. Because I'm not quite sure how you come up with sustaining power on level 1 unless you do that. But either way, let's talk a little bit quickly about what the Legendary Cup is. So, as you probably know, we have lately started to go through all of the grand finals of the amateur scene end of season cup. And in particular, HeroesLounge.gg, one of the biggest and in my opinion also the best amateur series that currently exists in well, Europe and North America. They ended the season, and every single division from 1 to 7 has an end of season tournament. Sometimes those tournaments include 2 divisions, and in this case it's Division 2 and Division 3 that play against each other. So we don't have any former pros in here, we don't necessarily have a ton of grandmasters stacked up in order to go for a bigger amount of prize money. This is really just simply going for the tournament championship at the end of the season, crown themselves the champion of that particular division. A best of 5 series, and yeah, we're gonna find out how this is gonna work out. We started with Division 6 and 7, worked our way through Division 4 and 5, and now with the Legendary Cup Grand Final, we're looking at Division 2 and 3, before in a few days we're going to finalize all of this with Division 1, obviously. Kinda hyped for this one. This should be a bit of fun. Don our Fedoras have actually been cast several times in the past, if you're paying attention. The team had a couple of interesting compositions that we just couldn't let go. And, I mean, it's maybe not the meanest composition that we have on their part, but if you look over to the team comp, you quickly realize, outside of the talent choices, this isn't quite a normal composition either. How many times do you actually see Lunara as the sole range damage dealer for a team and have a combo with Muradin, Alarak and Illidan all the way up at the front? So we're not talking Gazo level here, but it's still a bit wild. Then again, on the other side, the Tyrael offlane form with the Sanctification later on. A great tool on the map here. I still assume that it's going to be Sanctification. Bit of an invade, and then Paris, our Johanna players, coming in from the side. Okay, they're attempting to go for the camp at this point, and the blue team secures it after that little invade attempt. But the first tribute is spawning on our first map of this best of 5 series. And let's see, Arunas is already in position. On level 4, he went straight into the Chaos Reigns, so yeah, after the sustaining power. And interestingly enough, everybody is more so worried about the camps than anything else, but the half of the position has already been taken. Ooh, look at that. They're actually going for vision. No face checking the bush. I'm impressed already. They watched a certain Haka video that's out there. But that also means that the tribute gets actually snuck away by Mel. Quick thumbs up right here too. Spray game absolutely on point as the game continues. Some of you might also have asked themselves at this point, hey, ooh, there's our first kill. Illidan is Illidan. Yeah, quickly down. So yeah, some might actually have asked at this point, hey, first of all, like, why was there no draft Khaldor? And second of all, why exactly are we looking at the shitty HTC UI where we are not able to follow stacks anyway? And as explained in previous videos, if we can't cast something live, then unfortunately we don't have a draft available, since drafts are not included in the replay file. And in addition to that, Blizzard has actually just yesterday released a new patch. That patch changed nothing in terms of balance, nothing whatsoever, but it put one line about a fix, some kind of fix in, and that made all the replays pretty much unusable with the latest version of the client, so you have always to load into an old version, and that forces us into the UI that you currently see here, so we can't use the standard one that I normally use when we're looking at live games. So my apologies for that. But again, at least we're gonna get a good idea about the talents. I'm going to show you the damage in just a bit as well, but keeping track of the stacks is going to be a bit more difficult. Which is actually in this case not too much of an issue, because right now we don't have too many stacking or quest talents in the first place. What we do have though is a little bit of questing going on as they're farming Illidan. This is the second kill against him. Feels a little bit like quick match. But also a kill against Muradin, so the blue team is really running the show here. They have 2 kills against 0. They're doing a fair job on those siege giants and other mercenaries on the map. And are starting to go for another gank. Mel is running out of mana though. That might be a problem, but they're trying to get the kill against the Runas anyways. And whew, with a bit more mana and different cooldown management, I'm pretty sure we could have seen a kill there. Even with Rhaegar rotating up, because he would have been too late anyways. So, with that said, in comes the tribute, 10 seconds left. Lunara is already lulling around a little bit at the bottom of the map. And the tanks are starting to take position. Okay, in comes Anduin, running straight into a Stormbolt. Muradin trying to pretty up that face a little bit. And Rhaegar's jumping in too, but the zone out is here, and it seems like, oh, nice interrupt. Okay, flashlight comes through as a combo from Alarak as he gets a few silenced, but still an attempt to interrupt Illidan, and they get that done. There could be a potential curse against the red team already. The Fedoras fighting back here, and Brackbucket consistently trying to grab this one. Usually you use your support for this actually in the backline and let the rest zone them out, but in this case it's a very different style. The blue team is therefore moving in immediately, and here's the kill against Lulnara, and Jaina falls too, so a kill for a kill, and here comes Illidan starting to chase them down a bit. Needs to be cautious though. He himself is a bit low, but he's starting to zone them. It gets locked down, and Brackbucket barely moves out. Rhaegar is also in trouble, but it's Hanzo that dies first. And Tyrell is also on the run. Rhaegar is dead, Brackbucket got away, and level 10 is soon going to be in the hands of the blue team, and they're still fighting around this. Muradin is still dishing it out with Tyrael, the two of them going toe-to-toe here, with Johanna coming in with a quick blessed shield. God knows why. I mean, there was literally no reason whatsoever to do that. 10 is now ready on both sides. Boss gets aggro too. He wants a piece of the action. And here comes the arrow! Cross map against Muradin. But the tribute has already been claimed. The bubble as Anduin goes in. The crybaby proving to be useful here. Nice job by him. And they get a kill against Muradin as a result. Pretty chaotic fight here actually, and a couple of ults that were thrown out for reasons that we don't really want to discuss here in detail. But yeah, nicely done so far. Do we have any big surprise? It doesn't really seem like it. I mean, Illidan going into the hunt isn't really a shocker. Here comes the vision. But are they gonna try and fight over this one? They definitely could, but it seems like Illidan's totally fine sitting top here. I mean, he has a pseudo-global, but I'm not quite sure what the red team is doing. I mean, they literally know what's happening here, but instead of going for their own boss or at least fighting here, they just let this one slide. I'm not quite sure if that was a good choice. Muradin was definitely back in action and could have helped them out here, but they let this slide completely. So that seems like a bit of an oversight. Now the boss is moving to the bottom of the map. Illidan at least moves in so that he can get some value from his global and maybe help with the boss defense. It's obviously an early boss in the game. Doesn't do as much damage yet, but could definitely start to put the hurt onto the fort itself. Here comes the 4 versus 4. Heroics are pretty much ready. There's the arrow, blessed shield follow-up, and down goes Alarak. Illidan jumping in too, and the bubble is in as well. Anduin with the value once more, and they're starting to get the aggression against Mist, who jumps over the wall and gets dropped just a second later by Hanzo. And that's now 3 heroes, 2 heroes down. Boss already active at the bottom of the map, and they're trying to grab another one while the tribute is taken too. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. Boss at the bot lane has taken the 4 down up to the top. We're gonna see a very similar picture here. They could even propel it forward towards the keep itself. And this is going to hurt a lot. Jojo is already on her way back over to ensure that they're grabbing the experience here and also take the camp down. And I don't know what to say here, but they are going to get every single forward. The blue team is in a fantastic position to take game number 1 now, or at least set themselves even farther ahead. Not sure where they are. Tapping at the fountain. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's fine. I was for a second worried that they would rotate down to the night camp and try and take that, but yep, my bad. So, jumping into the mid lane and trying to take this one out. Already the boss is attacked at the top because they don't want to lose the keep, which means that the resources are, well, not available to defend the middle too. And that's a really good chance now for the blue team to maybe get some damage in over here. But they try to rotate top side, help the boss out. Arrow already connected. Oh! Arrow into boss stun! Hanzo and the boss working hand in hand. Who knew, who knew? Didn't know that those two were tied. But yeah, that was a nice combo, and the entire wall has been destroyed. A bit of damage at the keep itself, so a very successful curse that we had from them. At the bottom of the map, Illidan has pushed out the wave though and allowed the Siege Giants to get closer to the fort of the blue team. So it might be that Team Snore is losing one of their structures after all as well. Jaina is already busying herself towards top side at the Siege Giant camp to get some counter pressure onto the top lane. With the help of the catapults that are now going to spawn on every third wave. That's also going to help them, obviously. Jojo should be fine in the middle. And with this set, we have our approach towards Tyrael at the bottom of the map. Now Tyrael, again, you don't see him as often on the side lane, but he can be played in the side lane. The value that he really adds on this map is that you have a fantastic position when you're fighting over the boss because of Sanctification. At this point though, he's in trouble. Yeah, barely gets out, has the Holy Ground too, but they're able to make it out without any big problems. Yeah, level ahead, 8 kills against 2. Tyrael has to rotate away with all of the forts gone. That's of course a big problem now for the Fedoras. But the game isn't over yet. The cool thing with Illidan is that if you actually reach the late game, you oftentimes gain momentum because the distance to safety for your opponent is low. Illidan will have to global out here, but he can't do that. Because, well, Blessed Shield was still available, and once that it actually hit him, he didn't have enough hit points to activate his ult. So that's a nice rotation kill against Illidan. He's down again for the third time. And these arrows are connecting, baby! Another one, this time a little bit shorter distance for him. But they still look missed down, and it seems like they might be able to slow him too and get the drop on Muradin. Muradin is low, there's the Holy Ground, Avatar, Ancestral, they're dropping a lot to make sure that he survives. And the dwarf hobbity hops out of harm's way once more. 9 kills against 2, sitting tight here. Quest completed for Jaina in the meantime. And talking about it, let's have a quick look at the damage numbers here. 33,000 for Hanzo, 25k for Jaina, and 33,000 also for Alarak. Gets pretty good numbers out so far. But yeah, Lunara is actually a little bit disappointing right now. Not letting too tight. Team is still looking at the bot lane. Talking about bot lane. 30 seconds until they're seeing the boss come back up. But they're trying to break through this. Half a level until 16. And Illidan relying onto the global again. Trying to make his play here. But his team is a little bit far out. This is a bit of a weird rotation. I mean, they rotated down here. They were trying to get the wall. And then they immediately rotate away. So could have maybe tried to soak some experience instead, because let's face it, top lane has to be dealt with at some point. They could have gone for the Siege Giants maybe a bit quicker. They really need experience right now so that they can catch up with level 16. And now they might lose that Siege Giant camp if the blue team forces it, because they will have that level 16 advantage during a fight. And that's a big advantage right there, right now. And they're going to grab that. Missed with another quick connect. Gets the Stormbolt in. Illidan still sitting topside for the XP, but level 16 talents is something that they probably don't want to face now. Yeah, Siege Giant's taken. And another tribute is up. And I don't understand why the blue team doesn't go for the boss at this point. As long as they have vision for everything here, they could easily make that happen. Like, that boss would be a great move for them. 16 talent advantage, all the ults ready. First of all, the bubble on Anduin, but also the Sanctification. Now, of course, they wasted quite a bit of time, and we have level 16 very close for the red team, so it would be a bit of a problem to try and pull it off now. Ancestral and Counter-Strike is saving Alarak. That's a decent one. Then it's not jumping in yet, but now they have 16. I guess we're going to see the hunt any second. Hunts in, goes for Jaina. Ice Block keeps her alive. Sanctification is on the ground. Anduin with the safe attempt. Rhaegar isolated and taken apart. Illidan about to go down to Muradin rushing away. And Bread Bucket, can he get out? He's trying. Dives and escapes, at least for now. But Lunara doesn't. Oh, and Illidan is dead too. Yeah, Bambi is dead, and so is the guy with the blindfold. So 12 kills against 2. First game is a bit of a stomp, I gotta admit. Blue team has done very, very well. And now with 3 heroes down, you have the opportunity to go for boss and then also for the tribute, which is probably what they're gonna try and pull off here. Especially, of course, with Hanzo having his level 4 talent ready, so he can get those bosses a bit quicker. That's exactly what we're seeing here. At this point, down goes the boss, and that's a curse, and that should at least be top keep. I mean, right now you want to push the envelope a little bit. You can go for a double boss play, but I mean, considering the situation that they're in, we're 15 minutes into the game, you want to get the keep here and then take it from there and maybe rotate down and take the second boss shortly after. But yeah, pretty good and solid position so far. 12 against 2. And again, we're looking here at Division 2, Division 3. This is the first map of the best of 5 at the Legendary Cup Grand Final. One of these two teams will crown themselves the champion of the season in these divisions. In comes Jojo, bless shield out, and Lulnara. Yeah, no laughs for her. She goes down. Here comes the bubble on Anduin. Once more, heals are in. And they're trying to get another kill against Alarak as he just gets ancestral in the last second. Missed on his murder and is already rushing away. But Johanna is trying to go in. A quick hop saves his ass. The problem is that Illidan is in trouble, and once again they're going straight for him. There's a sanctification on the ground as they're trying to make the play for Rhaegar. The keep is down already, and with Illidan falling, they should definitely go for the core here. I mean, that boss barely has lost any health thus far. It was a great position. Bot lane, mid lane, both pushing against the keep as we speak. And this is gonna be core. This is gonna be game. This is gonna be the lead for Team Snore. As we have the blue team pushing straight for victory here and taking the lead in the best of 5 series at the grand final against Don our Fedoras on Cursed Hollow. GG and well played. Game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, and well, as we're heading into our little setup here, I'm just realizing that I actually mistakenly changed the overlay wrong, so the score is obviously a 1-0 for Team Snore, not for Don our Fedora, so my apologies for the little faux pas here at the beginning. But we're now on game number 2, Infernal Shrines, and as we're heading into the second game, Mel on Kelthas, we have Raffeloy for Team Snore on Malthael, and Paris on ETC, Snaky Boots on Rhaegar, and Erwin on Greymane. On the right side of the map, Bread Bucket on Blaze, Mist on Johanna, Rooney on Tychus, Arunas on Medivh, and Aloname is playing Anduin. Alrighty, so a different setup, and a very different setup it is indeed. First of all, we have Kelthas in play, and on top of that we also see Blaze, hashtag buff bunker. And yeah, let's see how this is gonna pan out this time. No Lulnara, instead we get Tigers, so we can try and control the shrine a little bit through Odin, which I hope he is going to use. On top of that we have Medivh, and if you have Medivh in your team, I mean, it's really one of these do-or-die heroes. If you're a good Medivh player, you're gonna provide insane value for your team. If you are meh on the hero, then he can quickly backfire. But we're gonna keep our eye on Arunas for sure. And also gonna try and figure out when he goes and completes his quest. A little bit harder to track with the HGC overlay. One of the reasons why I really don't like it all that much anymore. It definitely hasn't improved over the years. But the one thing that has definitely improved is the camp mentality of the blue team. Quick pick towards the Khazras at the bottom of the map as the 1 minute mark hits, which means that now they have a much better chance to set themselves ahead in mercenary experience by claiming the one safely on their own side of the map, which indeed they do. And the red team, for some reason, is extremely slow when it comes to this. So guys, if you learn anything from series like this, is that especially on Infernal Shrines, but also on other maps, you want to take these camps reliably. This is one of the things that Lauber's fan club and Washed Up consistently do, and they oftentimes end up with a big advantage in experience over their opponent because they do that. Obviously with the little caveat that you at the same time need to ensure that you still catch all of the lane experience. If you fail to do that, then all these little nice camps that you take will not provide you with as much value as you kind of want to go for. So yeah, definitely something to keep in mind here. The fact that we have the red team in the lead in experience right now is a bit crazy, considering that 2 Khaldors have been taken against 0. So definitely lane experience was lost for the blue team, and that should never happen. So keep that in mind. It is absolutely crucial if you're playing in any competitive setup. Which pretty much means amateur leagues in particular, since, let's face it, Storm League and other stuff is not really competitive. And again, my recommendation, if you want to play Heroes of the Storm the way that it is really meant to be, then go over to HeroesLounge.gg, check out the amateur leagues. It's a game a week, easily signed up for as a 5-man, or even if you are a single player, a solo player, you can easily sign up for one of the teams there. They have free agents teams for exactly that reason. And then you can play with like-minded people that actually want to win the game and not just troll around in the game to get the recent Overwatch quest done. So, with that said, Rapheloy in the mid lane, as our little Malthael is apparently on a rotation mission between the top and the middle. Has to be careful. Blaze is topside. Only one team took the Shaman camp, and that was again Team Snore, so a bit of a problem here for the red team. They apparently are allergic to camps, at least the ones that matter. The quick damage against Medivh. He needs to be careful, but he's not the only one. Erwin too. And Arunas wants to make the play, but can't get close enough to Greymane to make it happen. Stacks advantage heavily in favor of the blue team, but the attack is still going on. And we are seeing the Fedora starting to tickle them to death here. Rooney with a bit of damage. The first kill goes against Kalthas. Literally first blood in the game, but Greymane follows shortly after. Double kill, my friends. And now 15 to 35. It's not quite over yet. There is still a chance for the blue team to take this. And it seems like Malthael wants to make it happen. 38 against 21. And there it is. The Punisher is claimed. But ETC is likely going to fall. Yeah, 5-man on him. Party time, baby. Also, that's a bit of a problem. He just... I mean, again, this has no real consequence right now, but this is a problem that you should try and avoid. If you proc the Punisher stun in front of the gate, it is going to get a lot more value. The idea is always to get behind the gate and then proc the Punisher stun, which you do by attacking it with some kind of range damage from behind the gate. It gets vision granted on you and then uses the jump. The jump is pretty much a spell that has a cooldown. So now, despite the fact that they had several heroes taken down, the gate has completely fallen because they didn't proc it over properly. And all of that started with the Runas going into the Punisher vision instead of walking around it, and therefore getting jumped on. So, could have been worse. Overall, still I would say a net win for the Fedoras, but definitely is something that you should try and remember when you play Infernal Shrines and you're trying to ensure that your opponent doesn't get a lot of value out of the Punisher. Bait it over properly, don't proc the stun before everybody is behind the gate. Or if you are still in front of the gate. The camp focus is still there from the blue team though, and I like that. Team Snore, as I said previously, has actually done well with this, but now finally we have the Fedoras also go for a couple of Khaldors. So they're going straight in for it, trying to make it happen right there. And in terms of fights, I mean, it seems like they're trying to go for another one. 5 minutes and 22. Medivh is completing his quest. That's big for him. Good job by Arunas. Well done. Can now play a little bit more aggressive. Red Bucket still on the rotation. So is Malthael. The 2 solo laners will have to do that a whole lot during this game. But we have a pretty significant lead in experience for the red team. Especially Blaze is doing well on that rotation. He's actually one of the heroes that is soaking the most right now. And down here, another attack towards the fountain. In this case, you want to attack this. This is another oversight from the blue team. If you actually take your opponent's Khaldor camp, what you want to do is focus a ranged spell onto the opponent's fountain. That will grant vision to the Khaldors, and they will attack it over the wall. And if your opponent loses the fountain on the mid lane, it means it's going to be extremely difficult for them to hold that lane because they don't have any sustain anymore. Especially since the next shrine is going to spawn in the mid lane. So this is a huge lost opportunity now for the blue team. They had with Kalthas a hero that could have easily just dropped the flame strike over the wall and could have used that instead. Level 10 abilities are now in as well, and that means we have Bunker taken. Oh yeah, baby. And what else did we get? Blessed Shield. I mean, pretty much what you would expect. Light Bomb also in from Anduin. This time they take the camp. Could time that a little bit aggressively around the shrine that is about to spawn. You don't have to pick it up immediately. And Cursed Bullet on the other side. Ah, they actually try to do exactly that. And if you do that, you want to sit somewhere over here. You want to have 2 heroes in just to make sure that nobody rushes in. And in this case, they have to claim it because there's the attack. But can they maybe even make something out of the situation? Let's not forget, they have 4 kills against 0. They have done extremely well thus far. Down here, the attack as Blaze comes in with the jet propulsion. And the kill attempt. Nice move by Rhaegar, but it's not enough to keep Malthael alive, and he dies together with Telthos. Here comes the setup against ETC, and the cow is down to fantastic coordination at this point from Team Don Our Fedoras. Really well done. In this best of 5 series, they've pretty much got their ass kicked on Cursed Hollow, but this is a very different setup that we're seeing now in map number 2. Great play by them. So they have the level lead, 7 kills against 0. They go through the wall in the middle, get the rest of the team straight onto the point. Could have maybe pushed the middle even a little bit more, but they hold their own now. That's a really nice position to be in, especially since they still hold on to Tychus' ult. So he has Odin and can commandeer that to victory if he wants here. 20-4, that's the stack amount. But they still have to move in. Blaze had to actually move back and is now starting to rejoin the fight. There comes the slide though. And the kill against Medivh. That shouldn't have happened. That was a bit of an unfortunate one. There comes Odin though. They haven't given up on this yet. Go right. There's the oil spill. There's the fire. Can they get the kill? And Mel goes down. The bunker value as the team is using it. Whoop, whoop. And talking about using things, there's the party time. ETC, the party animal is going straight in, but he might die. Blaze has already fallen. Arcane Punisher is claimed. Can they get the kill over here? Oh, they just can't. Greymane gets away, so does Rhaegar. Both of the wolves able to escape. And now the move straight through the mid lane against the fort, and I think this one's gonna fall. ETC slides out, just makes it out there. It's close. But in comes the push against the fort itself, and this one is definitely gonna get destroyed. Level 13 talents will also be ready. There's another quick jump procced in front of the gate, so a bit more damage against this now as well. There's of course the slide, the bullet, and the save as Anduin is going man mode for a change and saves Tychus. Not bad. The Renegade not too happy that he got saved by Babyface here, but still, ever since they took his cigar away, he feels like less of a badass too, so maybe to kindred spirits. Also, he walks around without any clothes, just with the swimsuit and big bazooka there, so like, I don't know. But still, we have Rooney currently grabbing the camp here. Rumor has it that Tychus identifies as an attack helicopter, by the way. And here the attack against ETC. Yeah, not quite. I mean, you need to be a little bit careful when you go up against ETC and you try to catch him with a portal like this. He still has the pushback and the power slide. ETC is really good for portal control in general, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword. On one hand, you want to put pressure on him. On the other, he could easily turn it around against you if you don't pay attention here. But talking about paying attention, they steal the camps again. Blue team still grabbing at least a few of them. Pyromaniac taken on 13 for Khaldor, so the cooldown reduction is now in, but Malthael is in trouble. And with trouble, I mean dead. Okay. Tychus is down, and that's that. Malthael is down. The aspect of death is apparently kind of confused of what that means. I always believed that that meant he killed other people, not himself, but either way, he's down 9 kills against 2. And, well, let's see, there's a slide attempt. Haha, double slide! Slide into the dash. Okay, so far so good. Well done here. Up towards the top, Blaze is still sitting around and is just burning everything into the ground here. Malthael is back up. I mean, if you just look at the stats that we have so far, Malthael has died twice. On the other side, Medivh and Blaze once bit the dust here. It's all about the level 16 talents now and the top shrine, which is going to spawn next in this game. Camps are taken from both teams. Medivh is cheating as usual and just providing vision the entire time. Hashtag legal map hack. And ETC completes his quest. This is actually pretty big for them. Proc Rogue is awesome in those fights towards the shrines, towards the objective, because you're always stacked up, you will get a lot of value out of this. Really gets away down at the bottom of the map again, but the counter-attack against Khaldor, and he's a little bit too far out. Frontline Khaldor, and he goes down. Ah, good old Khaldor. Ashalanor. Salami. Yeah, big pizza lover. Big pizza lover. But as it stands, that kill also gave level 10 to the red team. 10 kills against 2. Level 16, I mean, next talent. And obviously the chance now to go for the objective. By the way, Cam adding value to the blue team's push, so Team Snore. Not quite out of this yet. But I gotta say, I mean, the kill count alone, the Fedoras are just absolutely murdering them here. I like the reaction from the blue team to push the fort at the bottom of the map. So that's actually pretty good. The reaction from the red team is a bit meh, to be absolutely honest with you. I mean, this is a move that you usually see coming. But I like it from Team Snore that they did in the first place. They realized that without level 16 talents, they can't go topside for a fight. They went to the other side of the map and started to push structures. Taking the fort down was definitely very useful. Now they are also moving into the middle. And I'm a little bit shocked that nobody of the red team outside of Blaze is really trying to deal with this. Honestly, at this point, the blue team gets way more value than the red team. Finally, there's a rotation. But I mean, look at how much damage they've done. If they all get out here, that would be a bit of a disaster. Okay, apparently Greymane has been sniffing his own cocktails a little bit too much because that cursed bullet was way off target. But they have gotten a lot of damage pushed into the mid lane fort. Top side now 2, 16 versus 16 talents. They won't be able to win the objective any longer, but they are still able to take a decent fight now. So that's all that they have to do. It's actually Tychus that moves topside now and says like, guys, maybe we should get that Punisher now. Yeah, and he grabs it. But there's now the potential at least for defense. So that's one of the things that they can do. Blaze rotating for experience. Punisher's in. Let's see how they're gonna play this one out. Fury of the Sunwell for the double proc on Storm. Okay, they let this one slide. Malthael still sitting middle, by the way, against Blaze, and Blaze is now starting to heavily put pressure onto the bottom of the map. And he has a good chance of at least taking the fountain down, but even the fort is in trouble. Okay, Malthael comes in, trying to help out here. Top attack is still there. Little wall is already opened up, so they have vision. They can try and follow up here. Johanna comes in, portal is ready, but they're not going for it yet. So they got a fort out of this. So far they got one fort out of it. They're still behind the structures if you ask me, but now with a push onto the keep, the situation changes quickly, and ETC is low, and the Ancestral saves his ass. ETC is down, the Punisher is 2, and in comes the Malthael flank. Yeah, there's some portal control as we talked about it. That could be a kill, and indeed is. Should be the first stack here for Malthael. Well done. Anduin gets attacked too, and he dies. Johanna down, Anduin down. They're moving towards the middle. Up at the top, even another attempt to go for Tychus. Can't get the kill here though. 4 kills against 7, and Team Snore is fighting back into this, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, Medivh goes down as well. That was more than a little bit confusing if you ask me. And for some reason, Blaze just thinks he's going 1 versus 4 now. I'm not quite sure what exactly gave him that idea. The bunker is going to save you only for so long. Are you kidding me? He actually gets away. Seriously? You're going 1 versus 4 and Blaze just simply goes, gives you the middle finger and says like, alright boys, I'm out of here bitches. That is actually incredible. Goes in, trades his own bunker cooldown for the ETC cooldown and just walks away from it. That's kind of nice. That's interesting. I can't believe that nobody body blocked him. I mean, just think for a second about how many control skills they actually had up at the top and how much damage they could have pushed there. And the blue team wasn't able to lock him down. They still have more than gotten a ticket back into the game now. I mean, they control the camps on the map. They have pretty much the same experience as their opponent. They're slightly behind by the tiniest of margins, but they could even try and rotate in here. Johanna is sitting tight. Has she actually seen ATC? No, she didn't, and that's a kill on Johanna. Oh, Medivh and Anduin with a save. Medivh with a shield, Anduin with a trade. And then the save on Jojo. Yeah, she has to buy those boys a beer. Like, seriously. That should have been a kill. That should have been a kill for sure. So now we're looking at level 20 any moment. A bit more pressure into the mid fort. Next objective is going to spawn at the bottom of the map. And both teams are on level 20. That gives us a Storm Talon with the Indestructible for Johanna. Fortified Bunker. Medivh is adding... Yeah, Medivh cheats. Thanks for the newsflash. We know. And here comes the big red button. Shrine is activating. One more camp up. And this could very well be the last fight of the game, depending on who wins it. I mean, the bot lane is open, so if the blue team takes it here, they have a chance to go for the core. Well, right now we have the flamethrower for Khaldor. No one can cheat death. Turn around against our aspect of death here. And it seems like he might die, and yeah, Malthael indeed goes down. Can buy himself back, is coming back as we speak, but the fight isn't over by any means. Both are... What a gravity lapse! Nice! Nicely done. And now one down. Looks like the entire front wall is gonna fall. Indestructible procs. Here comes the ult from Medivh, trying to save Jojo. Iron Skin already used. The epic tour bus fail. Honestly, if he just would have walked after her and used the power slide, he would have gotten her. I mean, again, the thought behind it was kind of cool, but the timing was off and it made it look really, really silly. The thought process was there. The idea. He gets an A for effort, but it looked incredibly funny. I'm sorry. But yeah, that was special. That was very special. Medivh still checking everything out here. We have Khaldor actually using the Flame Strike to attack the fort in the middle a little bit more. There's a camp pushing top side. Malthael is in the middle. Needs to move down to the bottom of the map, since obviously they have a chance to go for the core now. But let's go and see how this is going to work for them. They should at least get the key, but if they get a kill or two here, they should go for core. And could very well. Big red button is already being used. Punisher still on 70%. Fountain down, only keep left. Mid lane gets attacked. Top lane, again, the camp is doing work. And here comes the aggression. A lot of the heroics are back up. And that's an opportunity for Team Snore to take the 2-0 in the best of 5 here at this grand final. Also, Commandeer Odin is soon over. At this point, the Punisher jumps in for a little bit of action as well. Key is down, and the blue team on the retreat. And topside, yeah, the wall has fallen, but they're coming back in, trying to fight here. The ult attempt against Medivh, not quite working for him, but still putting a lot of pressure onto Arunas. Has to tap the fountain. Medivh's ult is up again, but no follow-up on it just yet. And they're still poking a little bit. They're actually trying to go for the core here. I'm not quite sure if they can do this in a 5 versus 5 without any advantage whatsoever. This seems a bit ambitious, but at least they buy more time for the double catapult at the top to do damage against the keep itself. And it has done exactly that. So the keep is already down to, I mean, 60% HP. So that wasn't bad. Another camp also taken away. It's actually kind of impressive if you think about it. The blue team has been behind in kills the entire game. And has also been behind in experience for a long time. And then really turn it around up at the top. Camp taken. Greymane is still on another one. And we have Khaldor and his boys over to the left side. Grabbing the final one. So that's at least something. Greymane, by the way, on 67,000 damage. Khaldor himself on 51k. Only two that haven't died in this game yet are Rhaegar and Tychus. And an attack attempt at the bottom to maybe turn this down. Maybe take this game. And the 2-0 lead, which would be a big advantage. If you take a 2-0 in a best of 5, forcing your opponent to pretty much pull off a reverse sweep if they try to take the match itself, that is incredibly difficult to pull off. Wow, he actually dodged out on the Blessed Shield. Holy shit. Malthael was pretty much dead and then was able to use his abilities to dodge out on the Blessed Shield. I mean, I don't even know if that was intentional or not, but if it was, then God reflexes right there, seriously. That was pretty incredible. So now the fort falls in the mid lane, which leaves the structural advantage for Team Snore. They're going top side, trying to take the next camp right now. And how are they gonna pull this one off? Yeah, they're actually letting it slide. It's not really the moment when they want to fight there, especially, of course, as Medivh has his ult back up. Can use it as a setup for the team. Don't want to run into that. Top side, that's where we see the next objective spawn. And keep in mind that this bottom push with the catapults is going to start to hurt really a lot, because there's no... I mean, the fort is still there, which means there are no counter catapults in any way. And we're 22 minutes in. So once the shrine announces top side, it's roughly 23 minutes in the game. And that means that these catapults are going to hurt a lot. So it's going to be a really cool situation for the blue team. All that they have to do is stall this fight out. Not let the opponent fight it too quickly, and those catapults are going to arrive at the core eventually. So the more time they can buy topside, the better for them. If they can win the fight and can win the Punisher, then obviously that's great for them. But if they can just buy themselves a little bit more time, that would already be enough, because the red team has no catapults at all. You can execute a lot of pressure here. Only thing, just buy yourself some time. Don't fight for it too hard, don't rush into it. Just try and poke a little bit and buy yourself a little bit of time, and you're gonna be more than Gucci. Very early big red button already used by Tychus. Yeah, they're fighting this one out, pushing him back. Okay, so far nobody's really focusing on the shrine. That's an advantage for the blue team. Already catapults are pushing through the bot lane. Two are accumulating as we speak, and the fight is still ongoing. Very few heroics have been used yet. They can play this out slow and steady. In comes the kill attempt, but denied against Jojo. Party time, baby! Or at least the attempt of one, but then Medivh comes in with his own ult. But there's the dance, and he hits 4 heroes with it, and they're killing all of them, aren't they? They lose Kel'Thas, but they drop Medivh, Johanna, Anduin, and Blaze, and this is game. Rotate bot side and take the win. 2 catapults are already on the move. Tychus can try and at least destroy those 2, but the third one is already on the way, and we're 24 minutes into it. Very little chance of this going south now for the blue team. Team Snore is looking at a 2-0 lead, unless they completely YOLO this into the ground here, but I don't see how they possibly could. So they're jumping in, they drop the shield like it's nothing. They even go for Tychus, and that's another kill. He actually gets away, but the core doesn't, and this is game. A 2-0 lead for Team Snore against Don Our Fedoras at the Legendary Cup Grand Final. GG, and well played. Game number 3, ladies! Team Snore is in the lead at our grand final, the best of 5 series. And Don Our Fedoras, well, they have to fight back into this now, which might be a bit tricky, because they have to literally pull off a reverse sweep if they want to win this grand final. On the left side of Tomb of the Spider Queen, we have the Snores with Raphaloi on Imperius, Mel on Jaina, Imperius on Diablo, Erwin on Alarak, and Snaky Boots on Rhaegar. On the right side of the map, again, Anduin. Yeah, these teams really like our little Anduin here. Alone name on him. We have Mist on Johanna, Arunas on Living, Rooney on Zarya, and Brad Bucket is playing Leoric. Okay, let's go. Force Armor on level 1 for Jaina. Hold your ground on Johanna. And a lot of golden cocks in this game. So, yep, as they are riding around on them, proud. We have our rotations about to be set up. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of cool to see Zarya. Zarya compositions can be pretty awesome. Oftentimes when you see Zarya played in from other teams that are on a higher level, what you actually see together with her is Garrosh, because one of the ideas is to go into the speed barrier on level 4 and empower Garrosh to simply walk up to an opponent to get an easy flip against them. It's also quite nice when you play with Bala, for example, despite the fact that Bala these days doesn't have to be played with the double support anymore, but thanks to the hit point buffers that she receives, can also be played in a solo support situation. But as it stands, we have our setup without an actual auto attacker. The main damage dealer for the red team is Li Ming, who will rely heavily on these resets. And for the blue team, I guess we have to watch out for the plays that we're going to see from Alarak. He's definitely going to be one of the key heroes for them in this game. It's also a bit of a setup we can try and use with Diablo and Jaina. CC on the bot lane too. Bread Bucket already had to tap the fountain. And let's go for the turn-ins. Let's see what we're gonna get out of this one. I mean, this is a 2-0. If the blue team takes it, it is over. So there is a lot of incentives for Don our Fedoras to, as we say in professional circles, get their shit together and make sure that they're gonna win this one. Put a point onto the scoreboard, babies. That's what they're gonna try to do. Yeah, at the bottom of the map, we have Li Ming already aiming for the first camp here. So yeah, just rushing around, and apparently nobody cares about this. This is interesting. Normally, this is a move that is not only anticipated, but oftentimes also... I mean, you see heavy rotations coming in when your opponent's missing a hero on the map, because everybody assumes that that hero is dealing with a siege giant camp at the bottom. No hero can really, in any reasonable speed, take the knight camp this early in the game. So if there's only one missing, you know where they are, but they just let this one slide and gave it up for free. You very rarely see that on a higher level. If early on a hero is missing, it's always for the same reason. But as it turns out, the defense against the siege giants has actually pulled multiple heroes now to the bottom of the map, and that's more or less the cue for the red team to say, you know what, that top lane, we don't really like it. We take that wall down, and the towers with it as well. So, Mist with his 20 gems. Johanna obviously gonna be one of the main wave crew heroes for them here. Could start the turn-in. They don't have enough gems yet for a full turn-in, but they're honestly pretty close. So, yep, Rune is already trying to turn in. And Paris with the interrupt. Bot lane. The drain needs to connect here. Bread Bucket wants to stay alive. He's actually a bit low. Anuros turns in. Bread Bucket might be able to pull it off too. Attack in the middle. In comes Alarak, but he doesn't get the combo off. Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate from his perspective. Leo turned in. We still have those 22 gems for Mist. Slight advantage for the red team, but this particular push with the Night Camp can be quite powerful right now. Having the spell aura here against heroes like Li Ming is pretty awesome. And here we go, they're starting to make their move. Level 4 talents gave us the speed barrier on Zarya anyways, by the way. Dominance also for Li Ming. And here's the turn-ins. 1, 2, 30 gems delivered. Leo goes down at the bottom of the map. He turned in his gems, so that's actually important. He didn't lose too much here. But... Raffaello's a bit low, but I don't think that Arunas can really get the kill here. He moved in for a bit more wave clear and holds the lane until Leo is back. But the rest of the action is happening more so at the top side, with another interrupt against Diablo as he's trying to commit to the turn-in. Mist has his number. Mist himself on 26 gems now. A few more and he could pretty much deliver a solo turn-in to complete the first Web Weaver wave here. So bottom of the map. Still Alarak against Bread Bucket, but the rest of the team is still fighting it out in the middle of the map, and level 7 talents are now available for both, which should give us also Calamity at this point. Particle grenades on Zarya's side. That's already nice to complete the quest and start more outside poke, especially of course when you want to interrupt turn-ins. Arunas in a little bit of trouble as he gets saved by Anduin here. Turn-in attempt, Leo, and he gets out, but close call for him. Very, very close call. Diablo moved up to the top, and it seems like he's gonna get an easy turn-in right now. 16, yeah, it's very solid for them. And the Auric has fallen at the bottom of the map again. He's starting to YOLO this a little bit too hard. Now we have Calamity in the hands of Aruna, so that's definitely working out. 28 gems delivered. If they just can get Jojo in a good position, they can still claim it. But the blue team needs to only deliver 4, so both of the teams are heavily fighting over this turn. And yeah, both of them are still trying to control both of the points. Yeah, but Jaina gets eliminated. Nicely done, and that might just be what the red team needed to start this approach here. Mist still going to be interrupted. Can't really dodge out on that. But they at least deliver the 11 that Arunas is holding here, so that gives them something. 39 against 46 now. Mist turns in, or is about to, but Diablo again with a big leap here. It costs him a lot of HP on the other hand. And Arunas comes in, wants to kill. The body blocks are there, and Dibbles gets out. And Imperius turns in at the bottom of the map. I can already guarantee you that there's a couple of people that are pretty mad with Leo at this point. Why the hell did you not interrupt him? Either way, you could see how much value Devils do actually gave Diablo. I mean, he literally was on pretty much, I mean, how much HP? 10% or so? And one tap at the fountain with his amount of stacks that he has on souls went back to full HP for him. So, let's see what we're gonna get with this one. Moves to the middle. Nearly level 10 for them, so that's a pretty big move now too. Bottom of the map, Leo still up against Alarak over here. The big fight though against Johanna. 33 gems for her. If Johanna dies, they're in trouble. If they lose those 33 gems, that would be an absolute disaster for the red team. They know it too. Without level 10 abilities that they fight this aggressively into the blue team, that's a huge risk that they run right now. You need to defend, sure, but they are going a bit hard for this. If there's a good Diablo engage with an Apocalypse comp, then they're in trouble. Johanna moves in again, can dodge out on some of Alarak's combo because of the Iron Skin. They're actually trying to turn it against him. The Ancestral saves him for now. And here's the level 10 on both sides. And maybe with good Bliss Shield, they might be able to make the play now. Bliss Shield comes out, Devil's down, and they have Alarak locked down to not only him, Anduin falls, but it seems like Jaina is gonna die. Jaina is indeed dead. Blue Web Weavers have taken the top fort though. But the fight's over. Aruna still wants the combo, doesn't quite set it up, but they get the kill. And gem after gem is lost here. The problem is that Arunas is in trouble too, but he might actually be able to get out of this one. Even fires away against Rhaegar, who gets finally dropped by Zarya. 5 kills against 3, and they still have a lot of gems. I mean, the blue team is pretty much... I mean, they lost quite a few, I want to say. The red team has held on to, I mean, I want to say pretty much everything. Bread Bucket turned in at the bottom of the map. They didn't really lead many. But this is the attempt to equalize the position in structures on the map. So they can currently try to do that. Let's see. We have the opportunity to move through the bottom. Leo is a little bit alone. I mean, Leo is just activating trade value at this point. This is not inting. Less experienced players might mistake this as inting, but the 3 deaths on Leo just indicate that he read through his talents, read the trade, and said like, huh, if I want to get value out of this one, I need to die. But then I can scout for my team. Well, Diablo is down too. Oh, and Rhaegar as well. But yeah, as Leo turns into Leorki and accomplishes some trade mission and starts feeding a little bit, they still... It's just distracting. It's just distraction, right? So they still get the double kill against the blue team. And I gotta admit that Donna of Fedoras is starting to get a lot more value, especially since it seems like Li Ming is a perfect hero for Arunas here. Nice combos that he has set up so far. They got 2 of the forts already, and now they're making the play for Evan. Guys, he has 24 gems. Those gems are gone. The gems are gone. 24 gems down the drain. That's a huge amount. Actually, Diablo gets a couple of them. He didn't get all of them, but he got a few, so not bad by him. They still try to go through the wall here, but I think there could have been more of an effort made to get those gems and deny them to the blue team. As it stands though, you look at the difference in gems, just as we have the Web Weavers go down, and there's 40 gems missing for the blue team. Which is actually huge. That's actually big. Bread Bucket, again, seriously? Rhaegar was looking for the bite but didn't get it. Web Weavers are descending again for the red team. And they are more or less ready to go. 8 kills against 4. Jojo is already moving towards the bottom of the map together with the rest of the team to clear the minion waves and allow the Web Weavers to go a little bit deeper. But let's go. This is the chance to take the fort down. Honestly, you shouldn't even attack this. And I hope that they don't. And it seems like they won't. Yeah, Zarya just needs to move with the team to go and push the keep. This one is falling anyways. This is wasted time. This is wasted time. There's absolutely no reason to attack this. So instead, they should just focus their effort onto the mid or the top lane, one of the two. But Zarya staying here this long, this is literally wasted time, because that fort is down either way. You allowed the opponent to get a free defense against the top Web Weaver, and then arrive in the mid a bit too late to get the keep itself. But they can still put some pressure onto it, and the longer they hold the position here, the more the Web Weavers at the bottom are eventually going to get too. But this could have been a much more beneficial Web Weaver wave to them. You want to clear the waves at the bottom of the map in this case, but you don't want to overstay and lose the value. So now they have taken the wall in the middle, and the fountain is pretty much down too. They still get some value at the bottom, but again, this could have been better for the red team. But as it stands, they're still ahead. I mean, let's face it, they're down 0-2 in the series, so if they can get a slow win here, that would be great. And Tomb is looking good. Here comes the Apocalypse. They're trying to make the play. Ancestral saves Alarak. Web Beaver down. Okay, here comes our setup with the Blessed Shield coming through. Anduin is dead again, and they're attempting to run them down. Rooney is getting ruined here by Jaina, and is getting dropped by Rhaegar as he goes in for the last bite. The fort has nearly been... Oh, sorry, the keep has nearly been destroyed, but not quite. Arunas doesn't like walls. He's the David Hasselhoff of Don Our Fedoras. And, well, is he actually going to get punished for that? Seems like it. Yeah. Yep. Arunas goes down. Okay. Yeah. Stayed a bit too long trying to take those walls down. And now eliminated. Is that the comeback again for Team Snore? I mean, they were behind in some of the previous series as well, and then just a few kills in the late game allowed them to turn things around, start the comeback, and take another victory. That's pretty much the story of Infernal Shrines. If it happens here again, then it's a championship for them. So can they pull that off or not? That's the question. They get the turn in. Can they capitalize on it? 16 talents should be ready for both of the teams. They are a little bit quicker on the additional talent. But now with 5 heroes back to business, level 16 is ready for Don Our Fedoras too. And there's the moment where they can make a big fight happen again. Mirror Ball is ready on the side of Li Ming. That's already important. I mean, again, Li Ming should at this point be the top damage dealer on the team, and she is indeed. 37,000, 38,000 right now. Leo and 31k. Whereas Zarya sitting at another 34, so decent damage output of a lot of the heroes, whereas the blue team is relying heavily on Jaina at these setups. Alarak is sitting at 30k, pretty much the same damage as Imperius. But the attack towards the top lane, that's where the focus is now shifting from Team Snore, as they have one Web Weaver left. And they're trying to break through the wall here. Going in straight for it. Good Entomb could ruin the day here, but Apocalypse and the other abilities of the blue team are obviously ready too. Yeah, there's Dibbles. He's actually going to be tempted for this. This is sitting at 23 stacks. In comes Leo. It's time for the Entomb, baby. Or is it? Yep, there's an Entomb. Immediate Ancestral and Diablo with his ult. There's a lot of damage coming out. Zarya popping the ult. And at this point, it seems like the focus is going to be on Jaina and Rhaegar. Jaina is actually a little bit confused here, and Mist is moving in, but nobody follows up. Mist the entire time pretty much has that backline on lockdown, but there's no damage follow-up on him. Now Imperius is low, and they're body blocking Diablo, but again, Johanna is just getting one hero locked down after another, and they're gonna get more than this. They should be able to drop Diablo too, and they're looking for him, and that's the end. Li Ming comes in with another Calamity kill, second one in a row, and that's Keep. They could get the Keep at the bottom of the map. Instead, they're moving to the top to get the boss. So let's see how that works out for them. Keep would have been guaranteed, pretty much. Yeah, there's actually someone already pinging the bottom night camp, saying, okay guys, we can go for this one. But boss isn't too bad either. We're 14 minutes, 15 minutes in. So if they go for the boss, they have two options. They can either push straight with it, or they can move to the bottom of the map, try to get the Keep instead. They have a lot of gems, so you don't want to lose them. But they can push for top Keep, of course, too. So right now, that's exactly what we're going to see from them. They nearly have the gem amount for another Web Weaver wave, so they can't lose any heroes, or at least they shouldn't lose any heroes. If on the way back they turn in, it's another push that they have coming against their opponent. And they're already breaking deals through this one. Easy peasy. Ults are back up, by the way, for both teams. The only one that's missing is Rhaegar's Ancestral, and that's going to be back up in another 3 seconds. So the Keep is pretty much a goner. If they get a good Entomb setup, they might be able to get more. There's the Entomb against Dibbles. There's the Light Bomb as they're moving in, and they could get the kill here. Hasn't used the Apocalypse just yet. Keep is about to fall. There's the Apoc. Everybody moves out, but it catches with one. And there's the kill against Imperius instead. Zarya and Li Ming, the two main damage dealers for the team. Diablo on the run, and they are actually pushing for the core with this one. That boss is mercilessly just shredding through the shields as the Keep has fallen within seconds. Now Ab is in trouble too, and Alarak might get eliminated here. Nice D-shield on the side of Johanna. Barely gets the Iron Skin through too. And with this, the core down to 73%, and they could take it now. There's 2 heroes down for the blue team, but they're actually moving away from it. They're not really making the move just yet. There's one catapult with all of this. They're trying to make the play against Rhaegar. Once again, it's missed on Johanna that makes the plays with the slows. They get Rhaegar, they get Diablo, and that just has to be it. That has to be it. Doesn't matter how many gems they have anymore. This is the end of the game. They're fighting back into it. This series goes into game number 4 at least, as we have done our Fedoras, dropping the core and taking the W against Team Snore on Tomb of the Spider Queen. GG, and well played. Game number 4, everybody! The best of 5 series. The grand final continues on Towers of Doom. Team Snow with the lead over the Fedoras, who just put the first point onto the scoreboard for themselves on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And we have on the left side Mel on Greymane. Empress has stolen Johanna away from the red team. Can understand why, because Mist on the last map did a pretty good job on her. Now, Raffaloy on Urel, we have Snaky Boots on Rhaegar again, and Erwin on Falstad, the global in the game. But interesting combo also for the red team. I talked about this Garrosh and Zarya combo on the last map, and this is exactly what we're seeing here. Rooney on Zarya again, missed this time on Garrosh, Bread Bucket with Leoric, Aloname is back on Anduin, and Arunas on Hanzo. Alright, let's see how this is going to work out. We're going to see Race Car Garrosh. Speed Bubble on level 4 for Rooney is going to make it possible for Garrosh to move in and simply throw someone back out. But yeah, Austin's Renewal actually for Leo on the level 1 talent. Okay, fair enough. So let's see how that pans out for him. Especially Falstad. I mean, Falstad hasn't taken a level 1 yet, which I find a little bit surprising. I mean, no matter what you take there, you kind of want to have that so that the stat minions give you a couple of stacks. So I'm a little bit surprised why Evan doesn't make a choice. Either you go Seasoned Marksman if you really feel like this is the play, but normally on this map and most maps these days you will go for Wingman. Either way, you're trying to get the minion stacks. And there we have it. Okay. Wingman it is. Jojo at the bottom. It gets actually knocked down for a second by Mist. Now, of course, he has to wait around the cooldown of the Iron Skin if he really wants to throw someone over here. But let's see. There's, first of all, camps taken, and the invade seems like it's a bit more aggressive in game number 4. With another win here, they could force game 5 in the final map in this series. That's obviously the goal of the Fedoras. But the blue team has different plans. After taking the early 2-0 lead in the best of 5 series, they're obviously eager to finish it right now. Camp is taken, and well, there's a bit of poke happening against the blue team, but Team Snow is able to grab this one, and now there's a bit of an advantage for them because the opponent hasn't taken their own camp yet, so in theory you could either try and invade that or at least push those pumpkins through and crush the wall at the bottom so that you open up the access to the bell tower itself. Greyman also, cocktail build on level 1 for him, and well, topside, Leo still against Raffaloy. Getting the drain in, baby. Yeah. Drain. Slightly of an experience already for the red team with the rotations. Interesting that they haven't really pushed this out a little bit further. I really expected them with the 4-man that they had to do a bit more work here, which they didn't do. But now the red team can take their own camp, and they're rotating with 3 heroes to do that. We have a level 4 abilities in for both, and the altars are activating. Mist is already sitting at the side, trying to shelter this. And yeah, Bread Bucket is top side. So, I mean, normally you have the top left, top right trade, and then the fight over the middle here. So that's kind of what we can assume. I don't think this is going to be one of these 40-0 games. I mean, first of all, NA isn't playing, but second of all, it also, from the way this series has been going so far, would be a surprise. But they're actually making the plays topside. Yeah, so there's a couple of heroes focusing on the bottom. The rest, I mean, they're all over the place right now. They are actually all over the place. And Urel is a little bit low. There's a quick throw as they play the 3 versus 3. Greymane is pushing it out at the bottom. Gets interrupted. Leo has taken the top. So far, only a single altar has been channeled. But Raffaloy gets the one on the top left. Fawcett is about to fly down. Melon Greymane gets already pushed away. And here's our little setup. Mel in trouble, maybe just a little bit, but they're making the play for Hanzo, and they nearly got it there. Okay. Leo and Urel still rotating for experience. Went a little bit different than expected, but we still have 2 altars grabbed by the red team, so Don our Fedoras are actually ahead for now. And there comes the push to the bottom of the map too. They're trying to make the play for the wall and for the control of the bottom of the map, which is obviously crucial on this map since we then have access to 2 pumpkin camps that could put points of the core of the opponent. No coins here. No coins on this map. We are not on Blackheart's Bay. Thank God, by the way. That map was a lot of fun and competitive until teams figured out that you can easily win it without ever having to engage into a team fight by just rotating around the forts on the lanes and the turning point. So rotation is all they needed there. That could have been an invade. They don't quite get that, but they might get a kill. Hanzo literally locked down into a corner. No chance to escape here, and he's first blood in this one. But Erwin is also low, and that was a nice setup. Good kill. They nearly got the second one off against Johanna, but it's a 1-for-1 trade, at least for now. So far so good. Cocktail build has also continued with the level 7 talent on Greymane. Not really what I expected in this. Still the boomerang for Falstad, for obvious reasons. Still the best talent on level 7, but let's go. Leo ghosting up towards the top, and we have a single altar appearing on the map, so the 2 teams are being forced to fight over this one. As the bottom of the map gets defended, the pumpkins have been taken out. Now the level 4 talent with the speed bubble for Rooney allows Mist now finally to get close enough to any target. It's going to be a huge threat once he has level 10 for the Warlord's challenge and his taunt, but even before that it can be a great setup for a play. Yeah, Leo's just now making his way, and he got an additional wave topside, and that's actually lost to the blue team. Urel isn't there, so all of those minions at the top are currently destroyed by the towers, and that's experience down the drain. But the fight over here would be worth it if they win it, but at this point it seems more so like they're getting a beating. Raffalo is low, and there could be a kill against Urel, and indeed it is. The Space Goat is down. And Arunas is making the play for Jojo. Oh, and actually gets her. Nicely done. 2 kills, and boys and girls, this is looking great for the Fedoras. Apparently they gained a little bit of confidence after they just won the last map. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Was that the map where it all got turned against Team Snore? Or what are we gonna see here? For now, it's nearly a level lead for the red team. Very, very well done. So at this point, 28 against 36 points on the core. There's level 10. That should give them an opportunity to break through the bottom and grab that bell tower. They're actually rushing away from this. Half a level left. Minion wave isn't there yet. Can take the camp quickly, push through with the minion wave at the same time. Hanzo hasn't taken his ult yet. I mean, I would be surprised if we don't see the arrow. If instead we get the meme strike. Meme strike has gotten a bit of value in the past in a few very selected games. But there it is, the arrow for the stun and the setup. And also the ults that you would expect from the blue team all coming out now as they grab their heroics. First of all, also, we have the bullet. In comes Urel. Falstad could fly in too, and there's trouble brewing for Garrosh. Garrosh in trouble, the arrow way gone, and this is a 5 versus 4. Leo is topside, Gast is slowing them down even more, and that's gonna be a Garrosh kill. Yep, too late. Ancestral comes out even to save the blue team. They get the second kill against Anduin. And Rhaegar escapes just in the last moment. Hanzo nearly paid for that attempt with his life. But it's now 3 kills against 3. And there's a double altar coming up topside. So they will definitely get 1. In an ideal world, they could try and get the second one too. With Anduin down for another 3 seconds, there's an opportunity, but only if they get another kill. And that might be the one against Leo, but he has Austin's renewal, and that helps him. Entombs comes out, only against Falstad. Well, he still has the barrel roll, so no problem for him. 4 shots fired against the red team as they lose 4 points on the core. And Hanzo, with the attempt, gets healed and is safely channeling the altar for his team. So the 1-for-1 trade, no surprises here, to be honest. This is not really the moment when you want to make the big play. At least not in an even game. It's too difficult to push into that position. But as we have the camp take over again, even the move with the Mighty Gust. It actually worked out well for them because the light bomb was already used, and on top of that, Zarya also popped the ult. So that was a pretty effective cooldown trade that we just saw from Falstad there. 2 for 1, nicely done. And the experience lead, by the way, is pretty much gone for Donna or Fedoras. They are still a little bit ahead, but not in any meaningful way. Also, the quest is completed for Greymane. So far, so good for him. That's a little bit more even now. Lead in the early game that we saw for the Fedoras hasn't been quite negated, but it is pretty much negligible at this point. So we're roughly 10 minutes in, and the next point should be another single altar. Red Bucket already rushing away from this one, and a win! Oh no, Jojo actually was face checking this right now and nearly gets caught here. He can't quite get it. Good slow again from her. It's a bit of a back and forth game. I mean, both teams are just looking to see if they can grab someone, and especially around Garrosh, it's always possible. If he has the taunt ready on level 10, then he can get a quick stun and a taunt in. But he needs the team to follow up on the kill. And so far, Johanna has played this extremely well. I mean, the Iron Skin is always up. Hold Your Ground is definitely providing the cooldown reduction that it is needed to play around Garrosh this way. Double Altar is up at this point. And with level 13 talents on both sides, we now actually even have Falstad going into the Giant Killer. Interesting to see that, since he didn't really go into Season Marksman. I mean, you can go for that hybrid style. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan. Most of the cooldown reduction setups around the Tailwind, but in this case, he wants to work the auto attacks in. Double Entomb is caught though. Gust is saving the targets. Slows the opponent down a little bit more. Hanzo against Urel at the bottom of the map, and actually Falstad is flying in. Apparently he wants to go for the kill here, and they might just be able to get it. The arrow comes out and stuns out Falstad, which saves Hanzo in this case. Was probably not quite what he intended here, but it worked out in his favor. Now the fight is still raging on, and Hanzo gets actually slammed for just a second. The Blessed Shield comes out too, but didn't do as much as they were hoping for. Now they're going for Mist. Arunas is still low. They might get the kill against Garrosh, and indeed they do. The bird gets nearly massacred here by Hanzo, but Rega is ready for the heals and the save. The bird survives and Hanzo falls. And the Ancestral keeps Greymane in play. Bird comes in and just says, you can stick your bow where the sun doesn't shine, bro. Nice attempt actually by Zarya to get the channel in the middle, but obviously that doesn't work out. You can pop your ult as many times as you want. That is not giving you enough time to channel that. Leo falls as well. That's 3 kills against 0 now in favor of the blue team, and that's an easy double altar. That's 8 points off the core of the opponent. Guys, we are tied at this point. Yep, that's the first 4 shots fired. Another 4 are coming in. And all of a sudden, we're looking at 24 points against 24, and pressure through the bottom of the map on top of it. Yep, going straight in, trying to get another quick kill. Half a level ahead now for the blue team, and maybe even another kill. Yeah, well, there comes the Entomb. Actually, oh, Rega got wrecked. There's the Iron Skin, the Mighty Gust. Iron Skin wasn't up, and Johanna goes down. Yeah, so 6 kills against 5 all of a sudden with a double kill. They're coming back. Overstaying their welcome. Urel rotates back down, so it's like, alright boys, I guess I'm not really needed here anymore. Let's get some experience and try to get level 16 instead. And it's of course again the fight over the bell tower control. But we are pretty much, I mean, we're honestly dead even. It's 6 kills against 5, 24 against 24 on the core points. 16 nearly ready for both of them. This is as even as it can possibly get at this point. But the momentum, thanks to the heroes that have died previously, is still in the hands of the Fedoras, and they're using it with the pumpkins to get the bot lane controlled. Big advantage for them now. Then again, this flank might prove to be difficult, and that thing actually survived. The bell tower is still there, but Garrosh survived too, so that's a big one. A bit of an attack attempt against Anduin for just a second. Garrosh comes in to save him, but that's a problem because he might now die. Light bomb is in. The counter kill against Greymane. Nice. Rega doesn't get the Ancestral through. Now another attempt maybe to save Jojo, and she goes down to Ancestral wasn't ready, and with 2 heroes dying just in the perfect moment of time before the triple altar phase, this is a bad moment for Team Snore. They are ahead in the series, but this is problematic. First of all, there's the channel. It's at least 4 shots fired. That's important because Zarya is going to take this down in a second. At the top, Leo is actually waiting this out. They're buying themselves a little bit more time. They want 5 shots from each. And Falstad flies down in order to stop Zarya. Not so sure that was the smartest choice, though. I mean, hello? Garrosh comes in, gets the flip, cooldown, and chicken for dinner, baby. Double channel, and that's 14 points against 20 now. Yeah, well played by them. And, well, I gotta say, that bird has a bit of a suicide wish. I mean, he just committed Sudoku, hardcore. Went straight into the bush, started to solve a math puzzle, and, yeah, Garrosh said, thank you very much, I'm gonna take that kill. So, also very random build from Falstad. I mean, at this point, we are also looking now at the extra slows at level 16, so he's a bit all over the place when it comes to his talents. Looks pretty much like he went for the good old, let's take a set of dice and figure out what talent we pick next attempt. But 18 versus 17. Red team is far ahead now. Red team has all the aces up their sleeves now to take this one. Especially if they can escort that through. That looks like a win. Yep, there we go. All 3 shots fired, but the death zone move from Falstad. This time it worked out. Still 11 points against 20. But at least 2 kills accomplished. If they can get a little bit more, that would be nice. They're trying to make the play for Hanzo. He is about to fall, and at the bottom of the map, I guess Zarya is gonna get dropped too. 4 kills for them. And the momentum swing has changed. I mean, Bell Tower will be recaptured, and now they have an opportunity to maybe even grab a Bell Tower on the opponent's side. They have quite a bit of time here. They have quite a lot of time, actually. They just need to make sure that they use it. Falstad went even for the pumpkins. Not so sure. Yeah, well, they should be able to get value out of it. There's a single altar spawning, but in an ideal world, you would still try and get this one now. Honestly, I'm not sure if I would channel this right now. You have 20 seconds for Zarya. Why channel that? With the pumpkins, they will get that bell tower 100%. I think that was not necessary. 4 points off the opponent's core. You're sitting at 16 now. But there was definitely a big argument to be made to channel it now or a bit previously. I mean, what is the opponent going to do? Attack with only 3 heroes? Attack against an opponent that has level 20 talents? Yeah, that's not happening. So, level 20 is at least there. They need to figure out what they want to do. Either protect the bottom bell tower or start trading bell towers with the opponent and go into the middle of the top lane. Or at least take the fight. Falstad can fly in again, has the wind tunnel now. And they're making the play for Anduin. Blessed Shield comes out. The bird again with the wind tunnel into the corner. And it is a massacre. 2 down, 3 down. They take Zarya, Anduin, and Garrosh. All of them eliminated. And that is just absolutely perfect. 13 kills against 8. They're still behind in points on the core, but this is definitely the ticket back into the game here, for sure. That's another 45 seconds where your opponent has nothing on you, and that means they can go for the boss, grab another 4 points there, and also wait for that turn. And Leo is a bit far out. I mean, you are playing with fire, my friend. Half HP for him. And they're going for the pressure instead of the boss. They want the additional bell tower. He goes straight in for it, try to drop it here, and you can't do anything about it. Bot lane is also where the pumpkins are now moving through. More shots fired against the core. Bell tower has been taken in the middle of the map, and with that we're looking at 6 bell towers against only 2. Hanzo is slowly and steadily poking away against the bottom. But yeah, this is pretty much a disaster for the red team. They were so far ahead here, and now they're starting to lose heroes again. Leo is again low, barely getting out, even touched again by the hammerang from Falstad. 5 versus 5 at least on the map, but Rega is obviously getting the channel. That's another 6 points fired. And with this, the red team is down to the single digits now. 7 against 11. Yeah, 7 against 11 points. And they're starting to make the play in for the bell tower at the bot lane again. Trying to recapture it. I mean, they need to get some momentum back. The problem is that the game seems to be fairly tightly in the hands of Team Snor. Team Snor wants victory here. If they grab this, then they are the champion of the Legendary Cup. They're gonna lose that bell tower. The continuous poke from Zarya now in combination with what Hanzo could achieve here is making it possible. They are already starting to work on the mid lane since they are trying to go for the 4 versus 4 setup. But we have a blue team rotation topside, and as they are making the play for the boss, they grab this easily. I mean, they have vision on the 2 heroes at the bottom of the map, on the ones in the middle, so they know that they can safely claim this. And with the additional 4 shots fired against the red team's core, that also means that they're now down to 3 points. One single altar, one camp that makes it through completely, and they are Gucci. More poke against Urel as she jumps out. Falstad flies in, ready for the wind tunnel if needed. Here comes the Entomb, and the mighty Gus comes in again. Wind tunnel, baby, all into a corner. Arrow comes out, connects with one. Garrosh is low, gets the shield, and still falls. Oh my god, they're gonna lose this now, aren't they? Garrosh is already down, no counter kill for them. They're still trying to run here. Hanzo is in trouble, and a double altar is activating. And again, they only need one. A single altar is all that they need. They go for the camp. Bottom bell tower is going to be converted again. As you can tell, pumpkins are going to make this happen. And as everybody moves to the top, the red team is forced to fight on the left side. And only 18 seconds, and the wind tunnel is back for Falstad. And already we're having Rhaegar going in for the channel. Leo's trying to interrupt him. He's low. Zarya's down. A 5 versus 4 fight that surprisingly, Kappa, doesn't work out for them. They lose everything here. They lose 3 heroes. They lose the game. This is it. Shots are fired. And we have Team Snor claiming victory in this best of 5 series with a 3-1 against Don Our Fedoras and crowning themselves the champion of the Legendary Cup. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed the match and the commentary. The remaining time of the video has been added to protect against spoilers caused by the length of the video itself. But please keep in mind, though, that this does not only mean more work for me, but also has a negative impact on the popularity of the videos and the channel because of YouTube's algorithms. It would be greatly appreciated if you'd consider supporting the channel and help me to continue the daily esports coverage by clicking the join button below the video or supporting me through the Patreon page linked in the video description. Thanks a lot for the support, and see you guys next time.